Portsmouth, new leaders over in League One, of course, with Exeter City breathing down their necks. But who's going to take advantage this coming weekend? We're going to take a little look next. That's right, folks. Bubba's giving a prediction video today. We're taking a look at match number 9. That's right, over in the League One, of course. And we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe button, bang, all things Rovers related, League One related, world football related. We got it all here, boys. Under one roof. It is a peculiar looking top of the table over in League One with the likes of Stevenage, Vale, and of course Oxford United in the mixer in the playoffs. But will all those guys be there at the end of this weekend? We'll take a look at all of it in a second. Of course, big shout out to the VIPs. They are the patrons, you know who you are. But let's get into it, of course, and bring you bang up to date with what's been going on. Of course, we have been away for a while, but we're back in HD, guys. So let's recap the results. Now, this was the last full fixture list. There may have been a couple of stragglers, of course, other results, but we're just talking about the main last fixture list, which, of course, was pre-international break. So these were the games. 2-0 win. I picked Derby to beat Portsmouth, but it was a draw in the end. Exeter City did beat Cheltenham 1-0 in the end. Barnsley 2-0 win over Burton, got them on spot on the nose. Bolton Wanderers lost to Reading. I went with the 2-1 win the other way. Stevenage with a draw against Charlton. Of course, new manager there, or recent manager anyway. Oxford United big 3-0 win over Fleetwood Town, who of course also got a new manager as well. My mind escapes me who it is, but I think it's a surprise. Let me actually Google it, because I was surprised to see who it was that got the Lee Johnson, yes, formerly of Hibs, that's right. Of course, Lincoln City with a draw against Carlisle, 1-1 in the end, 2-0 win in my eyes. We had Peterborough with a draw against Leyton, Orient, 3-1 win for me as well. Port Vale, though, 1-0 winners over Northampton Town, 2-0 win for me. Bristol Rovers, big 2-0 win for them on the road against Shrewsbury. Wigan with a 2-1 win over Cambridge United, who have hit the slumps now. I went with a 2-0 win myself. And Wycombe with a 2-0 win over Blackpool. I went with a draw on that one. So I'm not really counting mine because I think I did pretty shit. But you guys can count yours because here they come in all their glory. Of course, Shepherd down there with a wooden spoon. Of course, Daniel Swaney then Blue Jack plays with 9 though. Well done to those guys for flexing their prediction muscles this past week, of course. But this is what the table looks for the season, and take a bloody bow. This guy, of course, Blue Jack plays 33 points on the board. I've got Tom Davis up there with 33, as well as the guys got a bit of a scrap at the top there. Ultra Omer also up there with 32. Shane O'Donnell, familiar face, with 31, and Swindon Army with 30 points at the moment. Where's Shepherd? Is Shepherd down there? Although I can't see him. But anyway, I just saw him actually. He's there in where is he? He's 11th. So he did wooden spoon last round, but he's still mid-table, so it ain't too shabby. He'll be bouncing back very, very soon. This is the table as of right now. Of course, Portsmouth could be on his way back to the championship, and they are one of the big players that we are missing from a tasty-looking championship. So kudos for them if they can keep it up all season. And then, of course, then you're looking at Oxford would be good to see in the championship. Of course, a big following as well. Big part of English culture is Oxford United. Bolton as well, familiar name to get back. So those are the ones at the minute I would like to see back, but that would also make the championship much more difficult. But anyway, that's the table. Cheltenham, Fleetwood, Burton and Northampton going down as, of course, right here, right now. But of course, there is also some points deductions that are not factoring into that. Remember the link here, cut./League One. It is free. Get amongst it, get your name in lights. Of course, we'll see how you get on next time around. And these are the games for the next time around. Of course, we're going to take a long, hard look at them right here, right now. They're coming thick and fast this coming weekend. We're going to start at the top of the hour. Which one? Where are we going? We are going with, of course, Blackpool up against Reading coming at Bloomfield Road. Now, these two sides have played each other 16 times since 2008. We've got 6 wins for Blackpool, 7 wins for Reading, 3 draws, of course. Blackpool, of course, their biggest win over Reading, 4-1 win, scoring 21 goals in those 16 games, 1.31 goals game ratio. Reading, though, 5-1 win, their biggest over Blackpool, scoring 27 goals in those 16 matches, 1.69 goals game ratio. Reading, of course, back-to-back wins, 50% form for them, winning 3 and losing 3 of the last 6. They are still 21st in the table with 5 points, of course, with the points deduction hanging over their head. Up against Blackpool, and Neil Critchley's boys are on 14th right now, with 9 points on the board, 42% form for them, just one defeat in the past 3. But coming at you last time at Bloomfield Road, it was 1-0 win for Blackpool back in July 2022. The odds for this one, we have 2017 on as your Blackpool, favoured for the victory, 11-4 is draw. 11-4 is your away win here on this one. Tight one, going to go with a 1-0 win for Blackpool at home, Bloomfield Road, and all that jazz, and maybe a Jordan Road spectacular. Next up, of course, we have Bolton Wanderers up against Peterborough. That's also coming at you this coming Saturday. Played to the 10 times since 1993. We've got 6 wins for Bolton, 3 for Peterborough, 1 draw, of course. Biggest win for Bolton, 5-0 win, scoring 20 goals in those 10 games. 2 goals a game average. Peterborough, though, just the 1-0 win, scoring just the 10 goals. And, of course, that's a goal a game average. They are in 8th spot right now, are Peterborough, with 13 points on the board. 58% form for them, just 1 defeat at the past 5. Up against Bolton, 42% form for them. Of course, couple of wins at the last 6. 7th at the table with 13 points on the board. Last time around over in Bolton, it was a 1-0 win for Bolton. Of course, just lost them once against Peterborough over the last 5. Including a friendly, so let's not read into that too much. But the odds for this one, we do have 2019 on as your Bolton. They are favoured here. Of course, 5-2 is the draw. 14-5 is your away win. We are going 2-1 win for Bolton on this one to take it to the house. And, of course, get another 3 points as they climb the table. Next up, we have Bristol Rovers up against Wigan. That's right. Of course, now coming at you on the 23rd of September. Played each other just the 4 times in 2017. We've got nothing for Bristol Rovers, 2 wins for Wigan and 2 draws. Of course, Bristol Rovers just scoring the 2 goals as well in those 4 games. That's 0.5 goals a game ratio. Up against Wigan, of course, who boast a 3-0 win against Bristol Rovers. 6 goals scored in the 4 games, 1.50 goals a game ratio. They're in 20th, though, in Wigan with 5 points on the board. A couple of points deductions on that one. 58% form for them, and, of course, back-to-back wins heading into this. Bristol Rovers, though, just the 1 defeat past 4, 42% form for them over the last 6. 13th for the table with 9 points on the board. Of course, last time around over at Bristol Rovers, it was a 2-1 win for Wigan back in February 2021. The odds coming at you, we have 5-4 is your Bristol Rovers. We have 23-10 is the draw here. 11-5 is the away win. Tight to call here. I'm going to go with a draw, 0-0 in the end. Points split right down the middle. What do you think about that? Let me know about yours down below. Burton Albion up against Fleetwood Town coming at you at the Pirelli. That's right. Now, these two sides have played each other 20 times since 2012. We've got 10 wins for Burton, 9 for Fleetwood, and 1 draw. Of course, Burton, biggest win for them, 4-0 win, scoring 30 goals in the 20 matches, 1.50 goals game ratio. On the flip side, Fleetwood also boast a 4-0 win, their biggest, scoring 30 goals in the 20 games, 1.50 goals game ratio. 17% form, though, for Fleetwood right now, just 1 win in 6. Grim times, 23rd in the table, just the 1 point on the Oki here. Burton Albion, though, 22nd at the table, 5 points on the board, 33% form for them, but they do come into this on the back of a win. Last time around, over at the Pirelli, it was a 1-0 win for Fleetwood back in October 2022. The odds right here, right now, we've got Burton 31-20 for the victory, 20-10 is the draw, 90-10 is your away win here. We are going with another 1-0 win for Burton. Fleetwood Town do look lost at sea at the moment, no pun intended. Next up, of course, we have Cambridge United up against Port Vale, of course, coming at you this coming weekend. Played each other 9 times in 2017. We've got 5 wins for Cambridge, 4 wins for Port Vale, and 0 draws. Cambridge, though, their biggest win, 5-0 win, scoring just the 12 goals in the 9 games, 1.33 goals game ratio. Of course, Port Vale, biggest win for them, 3-0 win, scoring 8 goals in the 9 games, 0.89 goals game ratio. Port Vale, though, flying high in third, 16 points on the board, 83% form for them, but they do come into this on the back of a defeat. Cambridge United, though, 2 wins the last 6, 33% form for them. They have dropped down to 11th now, 12 points on the board. Of course, last time played each other at Cambridge was a 1-0 win for Port Vale back in October 2022. In fact, the last time the home side won was when Cambridge beat Port Vale at Cambridge back in October 2020. That was in League 2. The odds for this, though, we have 11-10 as your host, 9-4 is the draw, 5-2 is the away win here. We are backing, of course, the away side here, 2-1 win for Port Vale, 3 points in the bag, and again, pushing to go back to the tip of the top of the table. Next up, of course, we have Carlisle United up against Derby County, of course, coming at you this coming Saturday. Played each other 2 times since 2014, 2 wins and 2 for Derby. Of course, Carlisle, just the 14 goals scored in those 2 games. I don't understand that. That does not compute. They're averaging around about 7 goals a game. Meanwhile, Derby County, of course, their biggest win, 2-0 win, averaging 17 goals, scoring 17 goals into 8 points. There's something wrong with these numbers here. 8.5, we'll take a look. Oh, it's some penalties. It's penalties, they're cheeky bastards. That's what they've configured in here. Anyway, 58% form for Derby right now, just 1 defeat past 5, 12 for the table for Derby, 10 points on the board. Meanwhile, Carlisle are in 18th, 7 points on the board, 1 win in the last 6 games. However, 1 defeat the last 4, if you want to look at it that way. Yes, that 14-13 penalty victory for Derby going into effect. But last time I played each other with an actual full-time result was a 2-0 win for Derby at Carlisle. And that was back in 2014 in the EFL Cup. Of course, the odds here, we've got Carlisle 9-4 for the victory, 21-20 is your Derby, 30-5 is the draw. Derby clicking into gear now, 2-0 win for them. They're starting to push up the table. They go. Let's go. Charlton, Wycombe, a bit of a Londonish affair here. Played each other 11 times since 2006. We've got, of course, 6 wins for Charlton, 3 wins for Wycombe, and we've got 2 draws, of course. Biggest win for Charlton, just the 1-0 win, scoring 16 goals in those 11 games, 1.45 goals game ratio. Up against Wycombe, 1-0 win, also their highest, 13 goals scored in 11 games, 1.18 goals a game ratio. Wycombe, though, 75% form for them, winning 3 on the bounce, looking A-OK right now. 1 defeat. The past 6 in all competitions, 9th in the table, 13 points on the board, up against Appleton, of course, at Charlton, 17th at the table, 7 points on the board. 1-1, lost 1 and drew 1 of the last 3 games. Last time around at the Vale, it was a 1-1 draw back in March 2030, whatever that was, 2023. Of course, the odds coming at you here, 6-5 is your Charlton, 9-4 is your Wycombe. 12-5 is the draw. Backing Charlton here. Appleton, recent hire, former Rovers manager. Let's give him a better help here, boys. And of course, get them pushing up the table. Next up, we have Cheltenham Town, who are free falling here. We have Stevenage, who are still doing all right. Played each other 13 times in 2010. We got 3 wins to Cheltenham, 8 wins to Stevenage, and we got 2 draws, of course. Stevenage, of course, biggest win for them. 5-1 win, scoring 24 goals in those 13 games. 1.85 goals a game ratio. 42% form for them. Heading into this, just 1 win in 6. Stevenage are in 5th in the table, 15 points on the board. Up against Cheltenham, of course, a 4-2 win, their biggest, scoring 10 goals in those 13 matches, 0.77 goals game ratio. They are in 24th with just the 1 point, 5 defeats on the spin. In fact, they haven't won the last 12 games. They haven't scored in a bunch of them either. Last time around, Cheltenham was a 1-1 draw back in Boxing Day 2020. And like I said, Cheltenham, just the 1 goal scored in the last 6 games. That was in the Football League Trophy against Bristol Rovers, but still looking grim for them right now. We have 11-4 is your host, 12-5 is the draw. Even Stevens is your Stevenage. We're going to back Stevenage as well. Going big as well. 3-0 win for them. Taking it to the house. And away they go. Leyton Orient up against Shrewsbury Town coming at you at Brisbane Road. Now these two sides have played each other 9 times in 2003. We've got 5 wins for Orient. We've got 3 wins for Shrewsbury. And we've got just the 1 draw, of course. Orient, biggest win for them. 3-0 win, scoring 17 goals in the 9 games. 1.89 goals game ratio. Up against the Shrews, their biggest win, 4-1 win, scoring 12 goals in the 9 games. 1.33 goals a game ratio. Shrewsbury, 2 wins the last 6. 15 in the table, 9 points on the board. Up against Orient, who of course unbeaten in the last 3. 58% form for them over the last 6. 60 for the table with just 8 points right here, right now. Last time around at Brisbane Road was a 3-0 win for the Orient, who actually won 4 in the bounce against Shrewsbury and conceded just the 1 goal in those 4 games. The odds for this one coming at you at Brisbane Road, 11-10 is your Orient here, 5-2 short, and 14-5 is your way win. I'm going with a draw here. Can't separate the 2 sides on this one. What about you? Let me know yours down below. Let's kick it on forward to Northampton Town up against Barnsley over at the 6 Fields. Now these 2 sides have played each other 3 times in 2003, but 3 wins for Northampton, nothing for Barnsley, and no draws. Northampton Town, biggest win, 2-1 win, scoring the 5 goals in those 3 games, 1.67 goals a game ratio. Up against Barnsley, no goals, no wins for them, 2 goals scored in the 3 games, 0.67 goals game ratio. Barnsley are in 6th right now, 13 points on the board, 67% form for them, a couple of defeats over the last 6. Meanwhile, Northampton Town, 3 defeats on the spin, 42% form for them. They are 19th with just 7 points. And of course, last time I played each other over at 6 Fields, it was a 1-0 win for Northampton back in November 2004. It was an FA Cup. And like I said, they've won 3 on the bounce against them. And in all competitions, they got like the collector's set. They got a winner in the EFL Cup at Barnsley, and they got a win in the league at Barnsley in 2003. So the last 3 wins matches all ended up in a victory for Northampton Town. Last time around, though, the bookies odds here is 11-5 is your Northampton, 12-5 is your draw, 23-20 is your Barnsley. We are backing Barnsley though to get something here and going for a win. 1-0 win in the end. Oxford United up against Exeter at the Kazam. That's right. These 2 sides have played each other 22 times since 2002. We've got 8 wins for Oxford, 7 wins for Exeter, and we've got 7 draws. It was a bit of a zinger, this one. 4-1 win, the biggest for Oxford, scoring 41 goals in those 22 games, 1.86 goals a game ratio. Exeter, of course, their biggest win, 3-0 win, scoring 37 goals in the 22, 1.68 goals a game ratio. Exeter, though, 4 wins the last 6, 67% form for them. They are second with 16 points on the board. Oxford, of course, 67% form, also winning 4 of the last 6, 4th in the table with 15 points on the board right now. Last time around at the Kazam, it was a 1-0 win for Exeter. That's back in January 2023. But the odds here, we have 2017 on is your Oxford. They are favoured here. 13-5 is the draw. 14-5 is your long shots. Tight. Going to go with a 2-0 win, though, for Oxford. Get the 3 points and possibly leapfrogging Exeter in the table. And then wrap it up. It's Portsmouth. It is Lincoln. It's at Fratton Park, of course. Now, these 2 sides have played each other 8 times since 2019. We've got 5 wins for Pompey, 1 win for Lincoln, 2 draws, of course. Portsmouth, biggest win, 3-0 win, scoring 12 goals in the 8 games. That's 1.50 goals a game ratio. Lincoln, of course, 1-0 win, their biggest scored result. 4 goals scored in those 8 games, 0.50 goals a game ratio. Lincoln, though, in 10th with 12 points. Of course, just 1 defeat past 6, 67% form for them. Up against Portsmouth, of course, also on 67% form, just 1 defeat past 6. They are top, though, with 16 points at the moment. Last time around at Fratton Park, it was a 0-0 draw. Portsmouth unbeaten against Lincoln over the last 4, picking up a couple of wins and a couple of draws as well. The odds here, 10-7 on is your Portsmouth, 14-5 is the draw, and 4-1 is your away win here. 3-1 win for me for Pompey on this one, who, of course, will remain with that result. Tip at the top of the table, and, of course, these are the results in all their glory in HD and in of course, high definition. Of course, don't forget the prediction league, 100% free. Get your name in lights. Can you out-predict me? I don't think you can. I'm putting down the challenge, guys. I don't think you can out-predict me this one. I think I've got this one nailed on. And, of course, this is what the table will look like at the end of this match day. But Pompey, top of the table, still on goal difference over Exeter City. Over Port Vale. Exeter City dropping all the way down into 7th. Of course, Stevenage, Oxford, Barnsley and Bolton make up the playoffs, according to my eyes. Northampton, Carlisle, Fleetwood and Carlisle going down. Again, there might be some points deductions and all that, which are not really reflected. But anyway, that is that. Be sure to subscribe, thumbs up, hit the little bell. Of course, we'll be back non-stop right here, right now. Of course, into the deep and darkest months of October. But until then, I'll see you soon for the next one.